Hey y'all. I'm just going to take the first few minutes and share the stream and get everything going. So bear with me. Let's see if I can do it from my phone. Just bear with me here. Okay. Right now I have started the live, but I am sharing it on my different social media outlets. So just give me a second while I do that. If you're on here, welcome. Let's see. All right. This. Nope. Okay. All right. So if you have joined me, welcome to my channel. I am Kendall the Model Scholar. This is my YouTube channel, and I am so excited to be here live. And today, if you've been following me on Instagram or on Facebook or other social media, you know that this is my YouTube live where I am celebrating reaching the milestone of 10,000 followers on Instagram, which was one of my big goals for this year, and I was able to reach that in the first quarter of the year. So, to celebrate that, I decided to come on YouTube Live and just share with you all some tips and tricks about how to build and engage following on Instagram. So that's my gift to you all for engaging with me and supporting me throughout all of this. And so I'm going to be on here for a little while live. This is my first time being live, so it's a little bit different than when I shoot my other videos because it's not live. I can make mistakes and redo it, but this is coming to you live, so you're getting the raw Kendall the Model Scholar. If you just heard a minute ago, my phone went off. So yeah, this is the raw me. So thank you all for who all has joined so far. And if you saw my stories and on my Instagram, I said that if you join this live, that you will be entered into a special giveaway that I'm also doing for reaching 10,000 followers on Instagram. So in order for you to be entered into the giveaway, if you could just comment in the chat your name, or like if you have an Instagram, your Instagram handle, so that I can keep track of who attended and make sure I enter you into the giveaway. So I'm gonna put that in the comments to enter your name or your Instagram handle, just some way that I can find you if you want to be entered into the giveaway. put that. I'm just putting that in the chat right now in case somebody joins later. So yeah, so again, I have a giveaway for reaching 10,000 followers. So if you put your name in the chat, then I will be able to keep track of who attended and make sure I enter you into the giveaway. So, and that'll also let me know who's joining me today. Hi, AdmireCast. Thanks for joining. So yeah, so this is really for you all. Like I said, I want to just be able to share, you know, a little bit. First, I'm going to talk about my journey and why I decided to even build this brand. And then after that, I will talk about some of the do's and don'ts of building an engaged following on Instagram, because there is kind of a science to it. And it's not just like going on there and just posting randomly and then one day you're just going to wake up with a whole bunch of followers. Like, no, it's actually, I actually spent some time doing some research and looking at some things and kind of learning. And like, and a caveat, like I am by no means like this big, huge Instagram expert, but I have spent some time trying to learn a lot about the platform and some things that have worked for me. I'm going to share with you all. And that's how this is going to go. And then if you ever have any questions that you want me to answer, you can put them in the chat. And I also have some questions that people already submitted to me, if I can find them. Yes, so I have some questions that people already submitted, because about a week ago, I put something in the stories asking people to submit questions, and some of you all did. So I'm going to also go through some of those pre-submitted questions, but if you have any additional questions about, you know, how to grow and engage following on Instagram, then please put it in the chat. Okay, so to start off, I'm going to talk about, like I said, I'm going to share a little bit about my testimony and why I decided to do this. So basically a year ago, when the pandemic hit, the crazy corona pandemic hit and we were forced to stay at home. It was basically like a year ago today. We were forced to, you know, stay indoors and everything kind of shut down. And I was just like sitting at home like, okay, I mean, obviously, if you know about me, I'm getting my PhD in social work. So I wasn't just like sitting at home, but I was sitting at home and I'm like, okay, how can I, you know, because my personality, I'm like, how can I make the most of this time? And really, like, my goal is to have multiple streams of income. That's very important to me. And I noticed, you know, that there are a lot of people on Instagram who are always like, they will make these posts that say like paid partnership with such and such. And like, I see people say that, you know, Instagram, they like, some people work full time on Instagram and that's like their career. Like they're able to make money off of Instagram, YouTube. There are people, you know, who they don't have, this is their full-time gig. They're able to make enough money to sustain themselves and then some. And so I was thinking, you know, how can I take my brand that I kind of started, but not really, how can I really take it to the next level and step my game up? And so that's kind of where the from is just like being in the pandemic and having to be at home a lot more, having more time to be able to really execute this in a good way. And so I decided to really hunker down and like figure out some goals and figure out what's the best way for me to maximize being on social media, because I'm on social media already a lot. Just by some of the things that I do, like some of you know that like I've competed in pageants before that required me to be on social media a lot. So I kind of like took my whole brand, which is KendallTheModelScholar, which is also the name of this YouTube channel. And basically my brand is that I'm teaching women how to be a model and a scholar. So it's basically teaching you how to balance both your, you know, your main career, whatever your main thing is that you're doing in life, with your oh, thank you, Caleb. He said, what's up? Congrats on 10K. Thank you. But basically, I'm teaching women how to be able to balance their career with their, you know, whatever it is on the side that they want to accomplish. And then I also am trying to do like some micro influencing as well. So that's my purpose and use for my Instagram. So basically, that's my testimony. That's how I got to where I got about 2 weeks ago, I think is when I hit 10K. And I was shocked, mind you, because at the beginning of 2021, So I started doing this in March 2020, and it had started off really slow. Like I was just going in as an amateur. I didn't have any knowledge. I was like, okay, let me just figure out how to do this. And I said at the beginning of 2021, I made a few big, like kind of ambitious goals, but I was like, maybe I can reach them by the end of the year. So when I hit 10,000 followers like a couple weeks ago, and it's still the first quarter, I was shocked, and I'm like, okay, this is great. So because of that, that's why I decided to come on here and do this live and just share some of the things that I've learned with you all if you're interested in trying to grow a more engaged Instagram following for whatever reason that is. And so I guess I'll start with the don'ts, actually. So what are the don'ts? So basically Instagram, the people who control Instagram, the staff, whatever you want to call them, they're really strict about certain things. So the first thing that you need to understand is like, what are the rules? Because what you don't want to happen is that you put all this work into trying to build your account and then it gets shut down, or you get banned or something, or shadow banned or whatever. Like these are different terms that they use, because that happened to people that I know. And it really sucks if you put in all this time and effort to trying to build up a following, or, for whatever reason you're doing it for, and then your account gets like shut down. So it's very important that you first learn like what are some of the rules. So depending on like how old your Instagram is, or like how active you are, there are certain rules on like how often you can like other people's comments per hour or follow people. Like you can't just do mass following, because then they're going to block your account, and that's going to kind of set you back. I've only ever been like put on a little ban for like, that's only happened to me one time in the past year. And I was like, okay, but in order to avoid that, you need to kind of research and figure out what are the rules of Instagram, because there are certain rules and you won't know, and you'll just be doing random stuff. And then they're like, oh, you're on a ban for 2 weeks. And that kind of, that's not helpful to you. So I would say don't go on overload, especially if if your account has not been that active. Don't just go and just start clicking on a whole bunch of stuff, because Instagram sees that as spam and they will block your account. And if you do it too much, shut it down. So you don't want that to happen. Another don't that I would say is, as enticing as it sounds, do not buy followers. And the thing is, like, it's almost like these people in these accounts can like read your mind, because you'll start getting all these DMs like, do you want to buy? Like, do you need help growing your following? And mind you, some of those people are genuine, which I can talk about a little bit later. But some people, they're trying to sell you followers. And I'm telling you now, don't do it. Because number one, again, with Instagram, they're very strict about spammy activities. So if you buy 1,000 followers from someone and they put them all on your account in one day, Instagram sees that as spam, and you can get your account in serious trouble and it can get shut down. So it's not worth it because of that. And it's better to organically grow your following, which I'll talk a little bit about what that means exactly, number one. And then number two, it's a waste of money, because when you buy the followers, most of the time they don't stay. So you'll like buy 2,000 followers and pay like $100 for that, or however much the person's charging. It ranges. And then you'll see the followers get on your account, but then like the next day after that, or like a week after that, you'll notice that the followers are starting to go away. So like, that's not a good way to, I don't care what nobody says, to grow your following, is by buying followers. So don't buy followers and don't do spammy activities. Another thing that I would say is, don't try to do everything. Like, you need to develop some type of niche. And when I say niche, that's like an area that you specialize in. So if you heard me when I came on, like, I have a brand. My brand is Kendall the Model Scholar. People know me as that. People call me that sometimes, which is really funny, but that's good, because that means it's sticking. So you need to develop a niche, which is an area that you're going to specialize in. And that's whether you're trying to like start a business, be a life coach, like what I'm trying to do, be an influencer. You have to pick a certain area that you're going to stick to, because if you try to do everything, that's not going to keep people on your page. So the idea is that, like, if they discover your post through like whatever different methods, hashtags, whatever it is, and they come on your page and they're expecting to see you talk about sports, because that's how they got attracted to your page. They found a post where you were like talking about sports, and then the next day you're talking about spaghetti, and then the day after that you're talking about traveling to Egypt. Like that doesn't make sense. There's no narrative, there's no cohesiveness. So if the person wanted to learn more about sports and that's why they came to your page, but then like you talk about something different every day, then they're probably not going to stay on your page or keep engaging on it, because you're jumping all over the place. So it's really important for you to figure out, like, what is the purpose? Why am I trying to build my following on Instagram, and what's going to be my area that I'm going to focus on? So like, that's another don't. Like, don't jump all over the place. You need to pick one area that you're going to specialize in. So now I'll talk a little bit about some tips on how you can build up your following. So the first thing is, you want your page to be attractive. So like when people come and look on my Instagram page, if you look at my grid, which is like just clicking on my my name and then scrolling up and down, you can see, and if you can go check out now, my Instagram is KendallJ. I'll type it in the chat. So yeah, my Instagram is KendallJ. So if you go look at my Instagram right now, you'll see that like my feed has a pattern to it, and it's pretty and it's consistent. So that's how you also keep people on your page, because they know what to expect from you. So like if your grid is all over the place, or like your pictures are not high quality, or it's like random patterns, like I have a color palette that I stick to. I have like, I try to make sure that I only post high quality pictures now. Like if you scroll, you have to scroll pretty far, but if you scroll like before I started doing this, you can definitely see the difference in the growth. Like my page was terrible before, but that's because I didn't know. And that was one of the first things that I learned, is that you have to make your feed look pretty, because I get messages all the time from people in my DM like, oh, your Instagram is so nice, it's so well put together. And that makes people want to work with you, because they know that you put work into making it look good, and that if they were to like work with you or sponsor you on something or pay you to post something about their product, they know that it's going to be good. If they look at your page and it's like all over the place and the pictures are dark and they can't tell what it is, that's not good. So I would say definitely make sure that you make your feed pretty. And, mine is pretty OCD. Like I do picture, picture, quote, picture, picture, quote. That's my pattern. I used to do quote, picture, quote, I think, yeah. But I switched to picture, picture, quote because I wanted more pictures, but I still do I still do a quote every 3 days, because I need a break from posting pictures. Like it's a lot of work. So that's kind of what my pattern is. And you have to stick with it. So that's my other tip, is like consistency. This takes a lot of work. And if you're not willing to put in the time and be consistent, then it's probably not going to work out for you, because you can't post like every day for a week and then disappear for 3 weeks and come back. Like you're going to lose people. So you have to come up with a consistent posting schedule. And I actually use an app called Later. It's one of many apps, but it's called Later, and I only pay $9 a month, and it's an automatic posting app. So basically what I do is I get like a calendar, because I'm old school. I'll print out a calendar or just use a sheet of paper, and I will plan my posts out for the month. And it depends on how, like right now, things are a little bit busy with me. So I haven't been doing as well with planning out like a month ahead, but I at least have 2 weeks ahead of time already scheduled. And if you go into the Later app, they have different plans, but like the one I use is $9 a month, and it's an automatic posting software. And I post every day at 9 a.m. on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. And basically you put in what you want to post. You can put the pictures in there. You can put videos, like whatever you're going to post, my quotes. I put the caption it's different for each social media outlet, but like for Instagram, that's my main thing. So I'm able to put like my location, I'm able to save my hashtags, all of that. And then I schedule the post, and then every day it automatically posts for me. So I don't have to sit there and be like typing furiously and trying to make it at 9 o'clock. Like, no, I just automatically have everything posted for me every day. And that helps me stay consistent. So The app I use again is called Later, but there's like several other scheduling apps that you can just Google it and you'll see other options. But that's the one I use, and it's been very beneficial for me, and it's definitely worth that little $9 every month because it helps me stay consistent. And when I say consistent, like I post every day because that's my preference, but some other influencers that I see that even have like triple the amount of followers I have, they don't post every day because they don't have to, because they have a super engaged following, and then, they're consistent, but like maybe they only post every other day or once every 3 days or even like once a week. And that's okay, but still your following needs to know what to expect from you. So if you're somebody that posts just Monday through Friday, then that's what you do. And you keep that up. And that way people know that and they know what to expect from you. But like I said, if you like post every day for 1 week and then you disappear for like 3 weeks and then post again randomly, like that's not going to help you build consistent following. You have to pick a schedule of like when you're going to post. And speaking of that, the reason why I post at 9 a.m. every day is because I looked at my Instagram insights and determined that that was the best time to post because that's when a lot of my followers are active. So you need to use your Instagram insights if you want to grow your following. So if you go into your Instagram account, so I don't tell you all the wrong thing. If you go on your Instagram account and you click on your face, you can't see that. But at the top, underneath like your bio, there's all the 6 little buttons, and one of them is called Insights. And if you click on that, you will get, you can do the last 7 days or the last 30 days, but I suggest you do it 7 days at a time because literally from week to week, my insights change. So you look at your insights and it tells you how many accounts you reached, how many interactions were on your posts, how many followers you gained or lost. And then like with your followers, it tells you like what cities they're from, what's the age range, what's the gender, what's the most active times of day for your followers. So if I look through mine, it's always 9 a.m. So that's why I post at 9 a.m. So I'm telling you, like, once I discovered this Instagram Insights, this will really help you. And then like, it's literally telling you what city your followers mostly come from, what age range. So like, if you are somebody who wants to target, so I'm trying to target women who are between the ages of like 18 and 45. So if I look at my age range, most of my followers are between 18 and 44. And then in terms of gender, 82% of my followers are women and 17% are men. So I'm doing good because that's the audience that I want to target. So you need to use your insights to help you figure out if you have the right audience. And if you don't, then you have to adjust that. So yeah, I look at this all the time. And then you can even go by each individual post and it'll tell you, it'll tell you how many, it'll give you like a history of all your posts and tell you like which one had the highest reach. And then you can maybe go look at that post and say, okay, when I posted my wedding dress, naturally, like I got a whole bunch of impressions on that, but why? And then once you figure that out, then you'll start posting more things like that because that's what people seem to like. So you really have to experiment and like use these insights, but it's been very helpful to me to look at, 7 days at a time and see like, okay, this week, what happened? And it'll literally tell you like everything. And this is really important to figure out, number one, if you're reaching the right audience, and if you're not, how you need to do some work to fix that. And so, yes, utilize those Instagram insights, and that will also help you grow. Another thing I would say is, and also if you're just joining in the live, if you put your name in the chat, you'll be entered into my giveaway for reaching 10,000 followers. So don't forget to put your name in there so you can be entered in if you're just joining. But as I was saying, so yes, use your Instagram insights, those that really like was mind blowing to me, like, and in order to get that, you do have to have I believe you have to have a business account, which that's really simple. You just go into your settings and you switch over from creator to business. Because I think if you just have a normal account, it's not going to give you that detail. You're not going to have access to all the tools. But if you switch over to a business account, then you can see all those insights. So if you look at your insights and then you go, okay, I'm not reaching the people I want to reach. Now here comes the work, which is some of what I've been doing in this past year. So like when people say, like I'm organically growing a following, that means that they're actually going in and doing different methods in order to get more followers. So one way that you can grow followers, an easy way, is by the hashtags that you use on your posts. So you want to, there's no point in posting a post without hashtags because hardly nobody's going to see it. You use different hashtags underneath your post because that's how people find you. So basically with the hashtags, like if I go on one of my posts, let me look at the one from, it takes a long time to load. The one from my post that I made yesterday, talking about my coaching program, and I use a certain number of hashtags. So again, this is some research that you can go do on your own, but there is like a magic number of hashtags. I think Instagram allows up to 30, but you shouldn't use 30. I think like the magic number is somewhere between like 18 and 21 or something like that, but do not quote me on that. I definitely looked it up, and you can just Google that and they'll tell you like how many hashtags you should be using. You don't want to just use like 4, but you also don't want to do 30. So like there's a happy medium in between. So I have a certain amount of hashtags that I'm using, and I use the same ones for a period of time. And then like every 3 months, I switch them up. So that's the other thing. When you're utilizing hashtags, don't just use the same ones every day for like 6 months, because that's also seen as spammy. And also you want to experiment with different hashtags to see which ones get people to your page better. So when you're doing hashtags, basically the rule is that like you want to do a mixture. So there are, and you can Google this too, like you can Google everything. There's each hashtag has a certain amount of posts that were made up under that hashtag, and that's how they determine whether like it's a small, medium, or large hashtag. So you want to have a mixture of small, medium, and large hashtags, and then also your brand hashtag. So every time I post every day, I always use KendallTheModelScholar because that's my brand hashtag, and I'm trying to build a brand. So you will use like your brand hashtag for sure. And then you mix between small, medium, and large hashtags. So if I use something more vague, like gold digger or lady boss, those are the hashtags that are going to have like 3 to 5 or 7 million posts. So those are the larger hashtags. But if I use something more specific, like melanated social workers, that only has like 1,000. So that's a small hashtag. And then there's medium ones, like when I use Black girls who blog or Black women who blog, that's more like in the medium range. It's like 100,000 or 200,000 posts. So I use that mixture of small, medium, and large along with my brand hashtag. And the idea is that you're trying to get your post in front of a lot of different people. So people literally save different hashtags so that every time somebody posts something up under that hashtag, they'll see it. And that's what you want. You want people to see your post. And the idea is that when you click on all of these hashtags, they have something called a top 9. So it's really more than the top 9, but turn that away. This light is the worst. So I'm trying to show you that there's a grid. Basically, there's a grid for each of the hashtags, and it has like the top post. It's still okay. Well, when you go on hashtag and you click on a particular hashtag, you're going to see a grid pop up, and it has 2 things. It says top, and then it says recent. The top side is where you want to be. So if you're ranking in Instagram, that means that a lot more people are going to see your posts, and they usually show like the top posts for that particular week. And so if I'm at the top, 9, then that's what people are going to see as soon as they press that hashtag. So that's what people aim to be on. So I've ranked plenty of times. It's better, depending on, like, some weeks I'm ranking for like all of my hashtags, and other weeks Instagram doesn't like me and I'm not ranking for hardly anything. It's really just, you have to just stay consistent and keep posting and keep using the hashtag so that you can end up ranking on these, and then more people will see. And then I have been able to get followers that way. or even just people liking and commenting on my posts. The other thing I'll share is that there's this thing on Instagram with Instagram called the algorithm that drives everybody crazy. And basically it's like a reward system for certain types of actions on your posts. So the problem is that Instagram, since they're cracking down on spam and stuff, they change the algorithm all the time. So currently I think you get the most credit if like people save your post. It wasn't like that a few months ago. So like even myself, I'm now having to rework how I do things because they're changing that. But the more people, that save your post or that share it, which is the triangle option on your post, the more credit you're going to get. So sometimes when you post, you can tell people like save this or share this, to get them to do those certain actions on your post, which also increases the chances that you're going to be ranking in those different hashtags. So I would say the biggest thing for me has been using those insights and really crafting my hashtags. And you need to do research on which hashtags will work for whatever niche you're in. Like you can't just use random ones, but usually people do like some research and see like, okay, if I'm a life coach, which hashtags will work best for me? If I'm a beauty person, which hashtags will work best for me? And you have to experiment and try different ones. Like maybe you'll use a certain set for 1 month and see how that goes, and then maybe switch them up and see which ones work better. Because like there's some hashtags which I just never ranked in at all ever. So I just ended up phasing those out because that just wasn't working for me. So you just have to experiment and figure out which ones are really going to help. Also, I would say you need to post a variety of content. Like people need to get to know you. So, and that's something I had to learn. Like you can't just post pictures. You have to show I don't like to, I like to be on video, but it's harder to shoot the video. So that's why I'm better with like doing my photo shoots and getting all my pictures out. But you also have to post like reels and Instagram TV videos, and you have to post to your story and talk to people. Like they want to know who you are and hear you talk and see what you think about the niche that you're representing. And I know like for me, if I'm trying to coach a woman, she's not going to book me if she can't see I know what I'm talking about. So you have to step outside of your comfort zone and be willing to share videos and not just pictures. And it's okay if, right now I'm dialed up, but I'm not always like that. Sometimes I get on live and your hair might be all over your head and your makeup's not done. That's fine. You're showing people the authentic you, and it's going to make them more likely to want to follow you because you're not always putting on like this face that you're perfect and done up all the time. So I think that it's important that you post a variety of content, and that also increases the chances that people will see your stuff, because maybe your posts don't do as well as you would like, but your reels or videos do really well. Because like I've seen reels where like people have like 100,000 impressions, because those are the short, like under 30-second videos, which people are more likely to watch. So make sure you're mixing up your content so that people can see a variety of different things. Is there anything else I want to share? Oh, somebody had a question of like, what kind of captions are the best? And I would say like, you have to tell a story. So like when you do the longer captions, it draws people in. And when you're telling a story, it's going to draw people in. So I would say like when I start like giving testimonies about maybe things that I've gone through and tell stories, and then that really resonates with people more. And then also always write your post with a call to action if you can. And when I say call to action, I mean like tell people like comment the word strength if you agree with this, or name 3 things that resonated with you from what I said and put it in the comments. Or like when I post wedding theme posts, for example, I'll ask people like, are you a 2021 or 2022 bride? If so, tell me your wedding date. How many bridesmaids are you going to have in your wedding party? Like stuff like that, to really draw people in, keep people engaged on your post. And then the last thing I'll say is whenever somebody comments, try to respond, because that also will keep them coming back, because they see that you actually care. So if somebody keeps commenting on your stuff and you never reply back, then they're going to be like, okay, they don't care about me, and they're not going to come on your page anymore. So sometimes it's like for me, it's harder now because I get a lot of comments every day. But I try to respond to as many as I can because I want to keep those people coming back and form a relationship with them. So it's really important to make sure you respond when people comment on your posts. Is there any more? I guess the last thing I'll share in wrapping up is just another trick of, on how to gain followers. There are plenty of methods that people use, but there's this one method that I use that's like 30 and 3. So basically, for all the hashtags that I use on my posts, I go into the hashtag, like I was trying to show you with the grid, and I look at the top 30 posts. Um, and I'll click some of those top posts for the week, and I will go in and comment on 3 of that particular person's pictures on their profiles. And then I'll also, if they have a way larger following than me, I go in their follower list and just comment organic, like not weird comments, but like actually relevant comments on some of their followers, like 3 of their posts. And it has definitely drawn people back to my page. And even if they don't follow me, like sometimes they follow me, but then other times they will comment back on my stuff too, because it's like a shared, like I give and you give something back. So that's one method that I use that I learned from just doing some of my research. And again, I'll leave you with like, it takes a lot of work. Like I started this last March 2020, and I reached 10,000 followers in March 2021. So it took me a whole calendar year to build my following up. Like I started off with maybe under 2,000 followers, and most of them were family and friends. So I had to branch out and get followers for people who are not family and friends, and women that I'm trying to target, and brands that I'm trying to work with and want to see me. So the bottom line is that it's going to take a lot of work, but it is doable. And I'm a testament to that. You can do it. You just have to put the work in. So we are at about 36 minutes or 37 minutes, and I'm going to wrap it up. But again, I just want to thank everyone who came on the live, even if you didn't stay the whole time. I get it. It's Friday night, but thank you to everybody who came on and who watched. And I appreciate all the support that I get from everyone. It means a lot to me. And I hope that you were able to take some tips away from this live, and there will be more where this came from. But again, if you have not subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe and press that notification button so you can get notifications when I'm posting great content like this to help you all out. And also don't forget to follow me on Instagram. KGillJ is in the comments as well. And thank you so much. And I'll be announcing more information about that giveaway to come on my Instagram. And have a great night, everybody. Bye-bye.